Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I will be giving us the run through of chapter 1 and chapter 2 of every research work as a nursing student, what you're expected to have in both chapter 1 and chapter 2. Firstly, I'm going to start with chapter 1. Chapter 1 of your study has to do with your background of your study, your statement of the problem, your objective, your research question, you're having your hypothesis, significance of your study. Some places you have limitation and delimitation of the study, while other people put it in their chapter 5. And then lastly, you have your operational definition. Now I'm going to start with background of the study. Background of your study basically just talking about you introducing your topic, your research work to whoever is reading your work. This to say that you have to make it interesting in line with your work, and then the reference style there, depending on which one your school or your supervisor want, it should not be old. For example, I'm doing a research in 2022 and I'm putting a reference of 2002. Basically, it can't be accepted. Secondly is statement of the problem. Statement of the problem has to do with why you as a researcher is picking this topic. What actually triggers you to pick this topic? You can get it globally, you can bring it down to your continent, your nation, even your state and your research setting if possible. We also have the object of the study. Objective of the study basically is talking about what you want to achieve in your research work or your paper work. For example, if I'm having a study on knowledge and attitude of malaria prevention, now I can say that part of my objective is to assess the knowledge level of my respondent on this malaria prevention. Now this is the objective, this is what I want to achieve. Nextly, you have the research question. Research question basically comes from your objective. Just like I said, to assess, I can now go on my research question and say, what is the knowledge level of my respondent with a question mark at the end. So that's how the objective and research question used to be in every research work. And then I also have the significance of my study. Now, significance of the study basically is talking about the importance of your study to the nation, to your research setting, to your discipline, your profession at large, possibly even to your community. So that's what significance of the study is talking about. And then we have the hypothesis. Now, hypothesis is talking about a cause and effect when you're trying to check the relationship between whatever you are doing. So if I'm to check the relationship between attitude and knowledge from my research work, I can say there is no significant relationship between knowledge and attitude. Now this to say that I have to use what they call a chi-square or chi-square to calculate and estimate if there is a relationship or not. So that's what hypothesis is. There are a lot of things under hypothesis and different types of hypothesis depending on which one you as a researcher you are going into. And then lastly, we have the definition or operational definition of terms. Operational definition of time basically is talking about you defining your key terms to your respondent and also specifically your researcher, whoever is reading your work. Now, if I say knowledge, for example, I'm defining it as a way of traveling. It's expected that wherever I see knowledge in my work, I'm basically talking about a way of traveling. But like I said, delimitation and limitation of the study, people normally put it in chapter 5 of your work. But when you hear about delimitation and limitation of a study, it's just talking about what you as a researcher faced that hindered you from doing your research work effectively. Mostly people put financial constraint, time and all like that. And then not forgetting another part of your chapter 1, that is scope of the study. Now the scope of the study is just basically talking about your research topic and also where you are carrying your research. So it's not something to crack your brain and say what is the scope of the study. So basically that's a run through of chapter 1 of every research work that is expected of you as a nursing student. Now the second part of your research work, paper work, that is the chapter 2. Chapter 2 covers just three phases. Number 1 is the conceptual review. Number 2 is the theoretical review, and lastly the empirical review. Now when you are talking about your conceptual review is talking about the concept revolving around your research topic. For example, using the knowledge and attitude of malaria prevention as an example, I can have an overview on knowledge on malaria. I can have overview on the attitude of malaria. I can have mode of transmission of malaria. I can have signs and symptoms of malaria, prevention of malaria under my conceptual review, and each of them will be a subheading under it. Second is the theoretical review. Theoretical review basically is just talking about a nursing theory or a theory that is in line with your research work. Now you have to state the theory, the founder of the theory. If there's component, you write briefly the component of the theory, and then you write the implication of your theory. What or how does your theory implies to your study? So that's what we call the theoretical review or theoretical framework. And then last part of chapter 2 is the empirical review. Now your empirical review means you reviewing other research work in line with your objective. In empirical review, you don't review work outside your objective. It should flow with your objective. Each of your objective you are supposed to have a review for. Just like I said, to assess the knowledge, I'll have a review on the knowledge of people or respondent on malaria prevention, previous work that have been done. And then if I should have to assess their attitude as the second objective, for example, then I'll have a review on the attitude based on previous work that have been done. So basically that's just a run through of chapter 1 and chapter 2. Anticipate chapter 3 and 4. Thank you.